Welcome back to Drip Virals. As I said in the original video in part 1, I was to replace the starter for this vehicle. And first thing I want to do is go to the back of the car and disconnect the battery. Okay, as you can see, the batteries are disconnected. Now we're going to head back to the front of the car. Right now we're in the back of the car. We're going to disconnect the negative and then the positive. These are 10s. Just unscrew this bolt here, this nut here. Put that aside, unscrew this one. There's 2 latches on the side, one here, one there. Push those in, lift the cover up, and you should be okay. Remove the brass first. Those are all 10s, they're all the same size, 10s. So there you go, one's loose. Ooh. They won't sit flat. Here we go. Okay, I'll do this off camera. See you soon. All right, so over here, first thing we do is disconnect this from the starter. Disconnect this power to the starter, and then we're going to also take out one bolt on the bottom that holds the starter in, and then the next bolt way in the back over here, which is a difficult bolt to get to. Be back soon. Finally got this bad boy out. Oh my goodness, this took the longest to get out because of that back bolt, and there's not much room here to get even this side bolt out. But yeah, you see this one was on its way. It looked very decrepit, very old, probably most likely the original starter. So it's time to get the new one in there. This bolt back here is a pain to get out. BMW placed the bolt this way instead of this way like any other manufacturer would do. But they place it this way, and there's hardly any space to get this bolt out. Thank goodness. I went to get one of my tools, this here. It bends many different ways to help get this out, but I used, to break it free, I used this long bar with adjustable head on it, well, adapter on it, like this, with this long bar, and I had to get like in a crazy zigzag almost direction to break it loose. Once I broke it loose, then I used this here to finish the job and then untie it with my hands. But that is so unnecessary. I mean, the starter's already on the bottom, practically at the bottom part of the engine. Wow. All right, so now we're gonna go and take this bolt hole over here off the starter, and then take the starter out. All right, this is the part side by side. There are a little bit differences between the BMW version, which is BMW Denson, actually makes this part from BMW, and the Bosch one. As you can see, this one doesn't have the bolt, and this has a 2 wire on the sides connected to the base. This is just connected to the base, and it comes with the 2 bolts. Right, this is from the BMW. This is bolts from Bosch, and it comes with new gaskets for the manifolds. Yes, the manifold gaskets. Now, I think I'm going to go with the original ones because these are very light, and it sounds like they're hollow. These have some weight to them, and it sounds like it has some metal to it. So I think these are fine to use again. Plus, they're not stripped or any damage to the threads or to the heads. Compared to these most likely are stretch bolts, and then you have to kind of torque them down. But I don't know how they expect you to torque them down where everything is back there, and they give you a manual about torquing them down, which is practically impossible unless you take the whole engine out. Also, these are prone to stretch after one use or break because it's so light, because these are considered one use only. So I think I'm gonna go with these. All right, next thing, after putting the bolts in, connect this red back into here and connect this back into this connector over here. The new starter's pretty much in. So all you have to do now is do everything back in reverse from what you did prior. Don't forget to plug all your plugs in. I'm not going to show how to put everything back together. I'm sure there's plenty of videos that does that, but if you follow this video, you just go and reverse everything I did. I'll try to show something here and there or the final product because it's getting really late. So here we go. All right, I put the new gaskets in from the intake manifold, and now I'm gonna take the intake manifold and put it back onto the engine. I would recommend you try to get the back end first, and then try to get the front and slowly move your way in this way in a wavy pattern, because if not, this is a lot of very tight space for you to get that in. Okay, finally got the intake manifold back. Not the intake, the intake manifold back in. I made sure I got the last bolt on in first, and then shimmy it along to this side, move the wires out the way, make sure none of the wires are going underneath there, and get clamped and on this manifold, because that would not be good. And make sure everything is free to move as it should. All right, and over here, place this back in to its hole. It should hold into the hold, and there's another one, a nipple one back there. It's hard to see. I place the air vent back into its hole, connect this back to from the bottom. Make sure you connect that, and you hear a click, and try to nudge back out, see if it comes back out. If it doesn't, that's great. Clean anything, like I'm going to clean this little area right here. Clean anything so that, you know, if you get any future oil drips, you don't see, you can see it easily notified. After this, I got to put the bolts in, and I'm about to do that now. Oh yes, make sure you put back the sensor. If you took the sensor off, I took the sensor off. I cleaned the inside of this manifold. I didn't show that on the video, but I cleaned it, and there was a lot of carbon in there. So I cleaned that, and I cleaned the inside of this also. So there was some carbon on that inside of that. And that's it so far. So we just gotta put this pipe, I can never remember the name of this pipe, back on. So this connector goes onto it, and make sure this sits onto those two pokes that comes underneath there. Make sure that sits in there, so this is not wiggling around. All right, so I'm gonna put the bolts in, and that should be the next step. One thing I forgot to mention is make sure you go in the opposite bolt pattern. So if you start with this bolt with the far right, go with the bolt far left, then in, middle, and then continue on, alternate. So you make sure that it sits flush. Next, connecting this pipe here, connect to the throttle body, and now you've got to put the air box back in. Make sure you put everything in this inlet, and the other end in this inlet, and you sit them in this groove. Okay. After you put all the cabin stuff together, obviously we're missing that one part. This is going in there. Make sure you connect the battery and then start the car, and hopefully everything works well. Now all we have to do is put back those covers, and then we're done. All right, I put the air filter back in. Don't forget, when you put the bottom half, then you put in the the filter, and then the top cap. Now I'm going to put the line, the air line that goes through here. I disconnected it earlier. This is it here. Put it back in, connect it through this hole here, bring it around, connect it to the side of the air box, and then connect it to the other air hole. Well guys, as you can see, everything is working well. It's 12:30 in the morning, so it's pretty late. No, nothing on the dashboard. Everything is great. I bleed the car. I added some coolant because I lost coolant prior. So hope this helps anyone, or if anyone has any questions about anything, just comment down below. I have no problem answering any questions. See, all systems okay, everything is well. All right, everybody, Drift Virals, we're out. Thank you. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'm so tired. Bye-bye.
Hey, it's me.